Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Malcolm.
Today we're doing division winners, or at least our predictions. So our first one will be the NFC East. We do have a previous episode, so if you would like an in-depth breakdown of this division, we do have that. Now, as stated in the last video, I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys. Now, as everyone's been counting us out, so our odds have been dropping significantly. They said Dak's shoulder is off the bone. Zeke's 40 years old. Amari Cooper hasn't played in the preseason. DeMarcus Lawrence back is worse than Romo's. We've seen a lot going on. But after all that, I'm still going to pick the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know Malcolm has a different team for his different reasons, which is fine because I have them as my second. So I'd be surprised they won. I would not. But they're not my division winner. So my division winner is, again, the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know why you keep on picking the Cowboys. I just don't understand that at all. But what I'm going to tell you is what is easily the best team in the division, and that's the Washington football team. You're talking about the best defense, let alone in the NFC, could be in the NFL right now. You have guys that's come back with Chase Young. You have William Jackson, who we signed, and we have a linebacker core with Jamin Davis, who was a rangy defender, which we did not have last year. Another thing about Washington is their improved offense. So we understand we have a lot of things that we could talk about with Washington's offense and the base off the improvement of playmakers, and especially a competent quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick. And we got the best coach in the division. So I think that's all needs to be
best coach.
Wow. Yeah, I just want to make sure you understand that too.
All right. So now for our next division, we have the NFC West. I'll let Malcolm start with this one.
All right, for the NFC West, I definitely have to go with the Los Angeles Rams. If you understand what they have a three dynamic trio in Deshaun Jackson, Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp. And I think that with the new quarterback in Matt Stafford, I think that's a very competent offense. I understand that Cam Akers got injured with injuries with the running back position, but I think Darrell Henderson's still a very good running back based off, last year, beginning of the year, of how he produced. You still got on that defense, you still have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. So you still have a respectable two-way type of roster in the Rams, and especially with Sean McVay as head coach, you can go a lot of places.
Yeah, I wanted to pick San Francisco with Jimmy G's confidence level, as we've seen on TV, people have been talking about. It's really scaring me. I'm usually, when you get competition, your confidence level actually rises because you're feeling real cocky now. Like, I'm better than this guy. But some quarterbacks like Jimmy G or notoriously Carson Wentz, you somehow just like that can kill your game, you mentally. And he looked really, really bad last week. And I think he still should be the starter. So you start Trey Lance, I don't think he's ready. A lot of good flashes, but I don't think he's ready for an 18-game or 17-game season. So it's really scaring me. So I think I'm going to have to agree with Malcolm on this one with the Los Angeles Rams, with Seattle actually coming in as a close second. Seattle has done some small things to improve defense, a lot of older veteran type of things. And, Malcolm's boy Jamal Adams has, changed the whole defense around supposedly. So we're going to see that this year what exactly how we do that defense, because we kind of know the offense is ready to go.
Hey, he got his extension, so hey, don't play with the boy.
He got paid.
He worked well enough to get that extension now, all right? He worked well enough.
All right, now onto the NFC North, a division that I don't think is going to be that hard to pick. Now, I'm just going to go straight and say I think the Green Bay Packers will win the division. I think they have the best offense and maybe even the best defense in the division. Now that the Bears do have a pretty good defense, but they've been taking steps back. They've lost their best corner. Like, they don't have the best secondary in this division. Khalil Mack is still very good, but Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith on with Green Bay. So I'm not even sure if they have the best pass rush. And we're not even going to talk about the offenses because Andy Dalton's starting week 1. So I'm picking the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. We got to pick the Green Bay Packers. That's the easy choice. And then, Ron, we talked about thinking about the AFC South as the worst division. Let's look at the NFC North. It got a lot of problems going on. I think they're trying to be in competition, too, based off what we're seeing with, the Vikings, and see how that go with Kirk Cousins so far. Detroit Lions, they're still in their rebuilding mode. And, you have the Saints, not the Saints, but the Chicago Bears, who good God, the offensive line will kill somebody. Literally, that offensive line needs some help. And I think Andy Dalton is the best option as quarterback for right now with the way that offensive line is. So Green Bay is the only option. You still have Aaron Rodgers there. You still have a decent defense still, and you still have Matt LaFleur as the head coach. So this team is still good. Still one of the best teams in NFC East, not NFC East, but NFC. So I think this is team still number one in that division.
Yeah. Okay. Now on to the NFC South, which was once in probably 2013, 2016. That range was one of the best divisions in football. They had an MVP dang near everywhere. Now, not so much. So, Malcolm, what do you think about the NFC South?
I mean, this is the easy choice, Ron. Just like, with the NFC North, I think that Tampa Bay is going to run off with this. I think that we got to look at this division and we see that the two other teams that could be close, as in the Saints and maybe Carolina, I know both of them don't even reach it. I mean, if Jameis Winston goes crazy and bonkers and not throwing to the other team, it may make it interesting. But for right now, it's definitely Tampa Bay. If you look at what Tampa Bay has done, they returned all their starters back from last year. So you have continuity, which is such a valuable asset in the NFL. And Tom Brady is easily the best quarterback in the division. That's just the end of the story. Yeah,
so I'm gonna actually pick the New Orleans Saints out this one.
All right, here you go. You gonna be a devil advocate.
I'm not gonna lie, Jameis Winston. We give him a lot of flack on this show, so that was a hell of a preseason game. It is the preseason, but it's not. It's never about wins or losses in the preseason. It's about, okay, what flashes did you show? Those 2 touchdown passes he threw were like, okay, like clearly he's talented, but sometimes that's just to the safety, not the wide receiver. So hopefully New Orleans can at least be second. I'm gonna agree with Malcolm again with Tampa Bay. They're gonna run away with this division. Hopefully they don't run away with the Super Bowl again, because this is a very stacked team and they lost absolutely no one, which I don't know how that's possible. But that's for another day. They lost literally.
Hey, you scared me for a second. I thought you was gonna go for Saints. I was like, hold on, Ron. Don't
that's Jameis. Now, to pick someone like Jameis, even if he has a good 6-week stretch, you gotta look, man, I gotta wait and see. And he's going against the GOAT, Tom Brady, who we know is gonna be consistent. Might start a little slow, but by the end, he'll ramp it back up. Now, moving on to the AFC. We have 4 divisions in the AFC. We're gonna be starting off with the AFC East. Now, pretty good division. I don't think it's that much of a tough call, but I'm definitely gonna pick the Buffalo Bills this year at least. I picked the New England Patriots last year. I think the hard thing about this division is who will be second and third. Because will New England be second, or will the Dolphins be second? Because Tua's look good, and they have the best weapons, I think, in the division. It's in Miami. So, but I have the Bills winning. I think they have the best, right now, their defense is looking really good. The O-line has gotten a lot better. They have a top 10 left tackle, which people don't talk about, with Deion Dawkins, the top 10 left tackle. I think they have a top 3 wide receiver. They have a top 5 QB. The running game is very, very suspect, but we all know that the running game does not win you Super Bowls. So that's not going to deter me from picking the Buffalo Bills with this division.
Now, this is crazy right now, hearing this from Ron. It's crazy how he just said something about Buffalo Bills, but last year, oh my God, this was crazy. And Malcolm, you're crazy. Why are you thinking this? I'm hearing top 5 quarterback from Josh Allen. This is crazy right now. The endorsement that Josh Allen is getting right now is really crazy, but you have to just understand that, yes, most definitely. I've been sticking with the Buffalo Bills last year and the year before that. I have trust in Josh Allen, and I love what Sean McDermott has done with this team. This is a well-coached team. They have continuity on offense and defense. You added a receiver, Emmanuel Sanders, after John Brown left. I think this is a team that's going to run away with the division. Patriots, they improved a lot, and I give props where props is due. Miami, they improved to an extent, so I give props is due. And this division will be hard, but I think the Bills have the most talent and continuity, which can, go somewhere.
Yeah, one of the best points I heard about the AFC East is, if you look at the QB, the coach list, you got Belichick, you got Sean McDermott, you got Robert Saleh, who was the number one, rising coach or whatever. And you got a Bill Belichick disciple down in Miami. So it's not even, I can't say, oh, this is the best coach in this division. Bill Belichick is the GOAT. But as of lately, he hasn't, this is what have you done for me lately? It's like Greg Popovich. What have you done for me lately? So we know clearly he's the GOAT, but there's so many good coaches in his division. It is possible he can be out-coached. That's the scariest thing about this AFC East division.
And you know what's crazy about the AFC East, though? They all have defensive coaches.
Yeah, which is rare that usually people are picking the offensive coach to win, too. But
exactly.
I digress. But, all right, now on to the AFC West, which is also a very fun division, I would say as well. So what is your take on the AFC West?
I mean, this should be an easy choice. I mean, if we look at the two teams, the only team that can come close to the Kansas City Chiefs is the San Diego Chargers. With with Herbert and them. But at the end of the day, it's Kansas City Chiefs. This team is easily the best team in the AFC. They've gotten 2 new offensive linemen in Kyle Long and in Orlando Brown, which they traded for from Baltimore. This team is stacked. It's continuity is everywhere. The wide receiving core, the quarterback, that quarterback wide receiver tandem is great to have, especially with continuity. The defense is, solid. They're not going to really lose you games. They're just going to make sure they don't make any crazy mistakes. But you still have Andy Reid as the head coach. He's the best head coach in that division. I just think it's Kansas City. It's just an easy choice. We know that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the defense is the same level, which is all defense needs to be is a top 15 defense. They don't have to be top 5. With that type of offense, usually need to be top 15. I think they can do that. And Chris Jones has been playing as a DN in the preseason. I don't know what's going on with that, but he's looked good in that role as well. So, but about the O-line, I mean, I've gotten banging. It's like, this is a top 5 O-line. You have Orlando Brown, Joe Tooney, who they got from New England. They drafted Creed Humphrey, which was, I think, he was ranked like the number 2 center coming out of college. You have Trey Smith, who somehow this 5th round pick that everybody's been banging about from Kansas City. And all the Kansas City sources like, nah, he's real good in practice in the preseason. So he's now the new starting right guard. So this is a great looking O-line unit. And then we haven't even talked about Tyreek Hill and, Travis Kelce, like top 3 at their positions. So we haven't even discussed these people. So besides those people, I think we all know Kansas City's going to be a good team. But the other people in the division, Denver, Drew Lock, look good in preseason. Don't think he'll be good in the regular season. Derek Carr, we all know, is probably a top 13 guy, and Herbert is like almost like another next coming. So should be still a fun division. Now, onto the AFC North, a division with a lot of fans of the M&R show, I would say. For a lot of teams, and we have a lot of fans of the division from the M&R show. So I'm going to make sure to not pick those teams. Now, I'm actually going to pick the Cleveland Browns, which for some reason still feels like a hot take, because this is like it's the Cleveland Browns. Like, you just don't pick them to win anything. If it happens, it happens. You don't actually pick them. But, I'm going to stick by. I like Baker Mayfield. I think I'm not really a big running back guy, but, you have 2 top 10 running backs on the same team. Come on. Kareem Hunt is probably a starter on, 25 NFL teams. Literally, he's that good of a running back. And I think they have the number 1 O-line in the NFL. And the defense, I think, is getting better. Jadeveon Clowney isn't a star, but he's good against the run. They kind of already have pass rush at other positions. And JOK has proven to be, to me, a top 3 linebacker prospect in the draft.
Yeah, I understand. I understand why Cleveland could be the number 1 team, but I'm not picking Cleveland as the number 1 team. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. Now, first we have to look at this. We have to see that Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in that division. We've seen what he can do without competent receivers, without a number 1 receiver. He just got in Rashad Bateman and Sammy Watkins. Those are the 2 best receivers he's ever had since he's been on the team so far.
Yeah, sadly, Bateman's out like a month, sadly. Very, very sadly for the M&R fans.
Yeah, most definitely. So, but at the end of the day, there's still 2 talented receivers that Lamar Jackson just never had before. Lamar Jackson still has Dobbins as his running back. That's still a dynamic duo. It's still a high-power offense that Baltimore Ravens have. And I understand we have questions about their pass rush, especially since a lot of their pass rush left. But they still have a elite secondary with Humphries, Peters, and Jimmy Smith. I just think that this team is well coached. I think this team, they come year in, year out as one of the top competitive teams, and they still have Lamar Jackson, who finally have good receivers by his side.
Yeah, the Baltimore is definitely consistency team. Like, we know they're gonna win 11 games. Like, they're not gonna lose. Like, we know, so Cleveland to win the division has to win 12, 13 games. You have to, because we know Baltimore's gonna win it. I'm going bottom is 11 is the floor. I think 10 is almost too low for this team. The offense, like you said, should be better. I just think Cleveland is just too stacked. If they do not win this division, Baker Mayfield is the reason why. Because the team is just too stacked of a team. Like, offensively and defensively, they have like a lot of good people too. But offensively, like, this is one of the probably the most stacked offense in the NFL. Now, moving on to before we move on, I do want to say, the Pittsburgh fans and everything. We didn't mention Pittsburgh. It is a reason why I didn't mention Pittsburgh. I just think they could have the third or fourth best quarterback in the division. We all know Ben's the first ballot Hall of Famer. The running game, very good, possibly, but you have the worst O-line or the second worst O-line in in the division. Because they're not going to be a better running team than the Ravens, of course. That's the best in the league. In Cleveland, we talk about they have 2 top 10 backs. So, I'm just saying for the Steelers fans, would you like to add anything, Malcolm? Or
Steelers should know that they're not the number one team in the division. And I swear, I do not want to hear. I don't want to hear any comments about these nauseated Steelers fans who really think that they just have this opportunity to be the number one team in the division. I'm telling you, y'all can't. And if y'all do, I need to give Mike Tomlin so much props for leading that team to number one in the division. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's how much it has to be for him to even get that props. Because it makes no sense if these Steelers fans keep on thinking the same thing over and over again. Their championship window has closed. I think that they're just riding that sunset where they're a competitive team, but rebuilding is knocking on their door. They have to open the door soon.
All right, now moving on to the AFC. I'm sorry. I really, truly, Pittsburgh fans make me really tune into football. Like, I watch a lot of Pittsburgh games because I like watching them lose or win badly or talk about how they won. So I really enjoy watching Pittsburgh games. Now to the AFC South. You all know I'm very in on Tannehill. So I'm going with the Tennessee Titans. I think Tannehill is a top 12 QB. I call it, this is like what we call it the NASCAR team. They got Julio, they got AJ Brown, they got Derrick Henry, they got Tannehill. The O-line, pretty suspect though, if we're being honest. But they're a very good run blocking O-line. So I think this is still gonna be like a run then throw type of team. I think it's best fit for the team. One, because Julio Jones, AJ Brown off play action is very scary. So just setting that up. Hopefully, offensive coordinator doesn't try to just do too much, because you don't want to unfeature Derrick Henry for so much, because he's a volume back. He's not a back that can have 15 touches and still be as effective. So I really think Tennessee will win this division, but also the defense is also a little suspect as well. So I'm just gonna put that caveat up there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Looking at this team, I like Tennessee. One thing I could say is I think that if Carson Wentz is healthy by week 1, I have to go with the Colts. I definitely will have to go with the Colts. I like what the Colts have, especially with the weapons, the running back duo, and that offensive line when healthy is one of the best in the league. They still have a very good defense with Darius Leonard, manning the show in the middle. I really do like the Colts, but for right now, Carson is not healthy. So
I practice this week, so we'll see.
Yeah, and when that happens and when he plays, I'm telling you, I think the Colts will win this division. But for right now, I have to go with Tennessee because I'm doing what I see now. And what I see now is that I think Tennessee is the best based off health. You're looking at Julio Jones and AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. That is a dynamic freak show right now. Seeing those 3 guys, coming at you, it's just like, good God. You're going to feel it the next night. You're definitely going to feel it the next night. And Tannehill is a very good quarterback. The defense, yes, it brings a pause because, you have a lot of questions about this defense. I think they're going to be a little encouraging in the secondary based on the stuff that they picked up. But at the end of the day, we have to, I think this will be a good team, but I think that the Colts will be a better team if they get Carson Wentz back healthy and Quentin Richardson. Not Quentin Richardson, but Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, now I can tell you who won't win this division. It will be the Houston Texans. Just to end the segment with this, I will tell you all who not to look for this year, and it will not be the Houston Texans. And the craziest thing is Bill O'Brien isn't even there. Somehow, people, I bet we're going to see on Twitter this year, people are like, well, when Bill O'Brien was there, they actually were winning more. I know we're going to see that take, and I just can't wait to tear it down. Now, any final thoughts, Malcolm, before we end this?
Oh, no, most definitely. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that the Washington football team will win the NFC East, which we talked about before. I just want to make sure the Steelers fans, I love y'all Steelers fans, but just understand that it's just not y'all years no more. Like, the times are changing now. I just want to make sure we know that. So, but other than that, I feel like we've got to do everything perfectly fine. I think we picked the right teams. Just know the Colts have a chance. I want to make sure everybody, if they have Carson Wentz healthy, hot take, if they have Carson Wentz healthy, they are number one in the division.
All right. Well, make sure to subscribe and please share this with your friends and make sure to watch it to the end. Some of you click on and then click off. Let's watch it to the end. Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely, guys. Come on, continue with the support, bro. I appreciate it. But make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, on Twitter at Malc and Ron Show. Y'all can be able to see the type of crazy stuff that Ron posts on Twitter and, see posts that I post on Instagram. So stay tuned, y'all.
All right.
All right, see y'all.